Hey there, my lovelies. Hope you're all doing well and fine. I thought I'd just jump on here. I know it's been a while because the world's gone fucking mad. Um, we now have this new variant from South Africa, apparently, which they're all getting very, very panicky about. Up till today, I've had a look on the news. No one's died from it. No one's even gone in hospital from it. Most people are just told stay in for 10 days while you're infectious, and then once you've isolated for 10 days, you're free to go on your way. No one knows if for definite the thing with the rumour of the vaccine not working on it, no one knows if that's the case. So at the moment, it's all maybes, ifs, could be, might be, but everyone's losing their minds thanks to the good old British press hyping this up. The media seem absolutely hell bent that they want Christmas to be fucked over for everyone this year, and I just don't get it. I know the media like to control things, and in their mind, bad news sells papers and creates viewers on TV, but we've got to fucking stop this now. People are being unnecessarily worried and made anxious. People's mental health is going through the fucking roof at the moment. With a thought that we could have another shit Christmas like we had last year. I'll be honest, I'm not going that way this year. We've done it all last year. I don't think the threat is as bad as it was last year as it is this year. Everything's ifs and ands and buts and maybes and could be's. As I said, no one is actually fallen really, really ill with this new variant. And even South African doctors that have treated people by their own admission have said the symptoms are very, very mild. So why are we fucking losing our minds over this? Why is everything being muted again that we won't be able to go anywhere? We won't be able to do anything. We won't be able to see anyone. I don't get it. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but is this thing too convenient to have popped up now? Is there something else planned that they need to divert our attention from while they do it? Is something going to be slipped under the door that if we all were concentrating on it and all knew about it, we'd all lose our fucking minds and rebel? But if they can give us something that puts our direction that way, then they can do something in that direction and we're not looking in that direction. I don't know. It just seems all too convenient that this variant has now cropped up and it's given them the chance to kind of mute that they're going to kind of put us into lockdown again kind of situation. Is it a way of making more money again? Are they going to justify this to do what they've done in kind of Germany and Austria, that they're going to start fining people something like a couple of €1,000 for every month they don't get vaccinated? Are our government looking to do something that forces people that they have to get vaccinated? And they've created this new variant to frighten people into doing it. If they have, it ain't going to work, because from what I can hear and from what I can see, people aren't prepared to go down the same shit route we did last year. Last year, we were told we couldn't meet up with anyone. We'd have to stay in our own houses unless you're in a bubble. And then we find out in the news that while we were all kind of telling our relatives, I'm sorry, we can't come and see you, and cancelling our plans with just under a week's notice last year, they were having a good old party at 10 Downing Street and having a good old Christmas party there. Why isn't this being investigated then? It was against the law this time last year to have parties, so why are they allowed to? Well, we know why they're allowed to. They create the laws, but it don't make it fucking fair. People have complained and moaned and said to the police, why aren't you investigating it? And the police have come up with the most ridiculous thing of a reason for why not, is that no one's complained. So everyone's gone, right, fine. If no one's complained, we'll all complain. So they have received emails, letters, you name it, from people saying, we want this investigated. Get this, you can't make this shit up. The police are now saying it's not, it's never been their kind of way of dealing with things to investigate possible crime retrospectively Are you fucking kidding? This is ridiculous. All crime is retrospectively dealt with. You wouldn't deal with something before it happened. You know, someone's car gets stolen, gets reported, then they deal with it. That's retrospective. The thing has already happened, but you're dealing with it after the fact. You wouldn't go and arrest someone to say, well, we think you might have wanted to steal a car, so we're going to arrest you because we think you're going to do it. All crime is fucking retrospective because it has to happen first before you can investigate it and report it. So to come up with this bullshit that you can't investigate into this party at Downing Street last year because they don't do things retrospectively is absolute shit. And all it's doing is it's fueling more people to kind of go, whatever restrictions you're going to put in place now, you can fuck right off. I'm not doing it. That's what people are going to do. They're going to go, well, you didn't take any notice last year. Why should I take any notice this year? Why should I go without seeing my family for a second year in a row? Why should I go without visiting people? Why should I not go with, breaking bread with people and having a drink with people? I've got to be honest. At the very, very start of this kind of March last year, when we didn't know what we were dealing with, I was one of the first people to say we've just got to kind of stay out of the way of each other to nail this. But now we know more about it, and now we've got vaccines, and now we know how we can deal with this. Surely now it's just a case of learning to live with it rather than letting it control how we live. It's ludicrous to keep disappearing down a rabbit hole every time a new variant comes. Flus and colds by their nature change every year. We can't do this every year. We can't disappear down a rabbit hole every Christmas or every time there's a problem. You can see the way this is going. They're going to try and do something. They're going to keep it going till March like they did last year. That will give them enough time to develop a vaccine. Then we'll be allowed out in dribs and drabs. Things will be unlocked in dribs and drabs. And then what will happen this year will happen again next year, that where everyone stayed out of everyone's way, the minute everyone goes back out to circulation and back at work and back travelling around, everyone falls down and ends up colds and flu. Because the colds and flu have had nowhere to go for a few months, and the minute they can go somewhere, they spread like wildfire. Not only that, lockdowns create the biggest problem, which is it does people's mental health in. People get locked away and they've got no one to talk to. It just does people's mental health in, anxiety. Our media could use their power that they think they have, and they do have, to kind of put people's minds at rest. But oh no, I watched it this morning. This morning is a classic example. Everyone's a bit worried about should we bother with making plans at Christmas, and they drag some fucking nutty professor on the TV this morning who has then turned around and said, if you think this pandemic's bad, wait till the next one comes along. The next one's going to be even worse. Fuck me, we haven't even got through this one yet, and they're already talking about the next one's going to be worse. So talk about the BBC fucking fueling people's anxiety. Let's not forget, the BBC run purely based on the fact of the money that we put into it through our licence fee. And we have to put up with this shit on the TV from their news department, scaring and scaremongering and putting the fear of God up people and bringing these nutters from out of nowhere, these scientists that want their 15 minutes of fame to come on and bloody give out gloom and doom all the time. Why are we talking about something that hasn't happened yet and making people nervous about it before it's even fucking happened? The next pandemic. The last thing that hit this country worse than coronavirus happened over 100 years ago, and that was Spanish flu. So why are we now talking about when's it going to be the next pandemic and it's going to be worse than this one? It's fucking ridiculous. Why they give these people time to talk about it? It's not news that we need to know because it hasn't fucking happened yet. With the BBC though, it's pissing me off more and more that they've got billions of pounds of our money in licence fee. They're basically threatening elderly people about their TV licence and threatening to take them to court and do all sorts to them because they haven't paid their licence fee. And then you look at the shit that we have to watch on the news. We look at the shit of their programming for Christmas Day. Their programming for Christmas Day is exactly the same as last year. It's the same setup. It's Strictly again. It's fucking 2 episodes of Mrs. Brown's Boys. It's the same shit as last year. And we're paying for this. We're paying for these people to scare the shit out of us. We're paying to have absolute crap put on our TVs at Christmas. Perhaps that's their reason for hoping Christmas is cancelled. Because if no one's got anywhere to go, they're staying and watch the load of shit they're going to put on TV this year. Something's got to change. People have got to start making a stand against the media scaring people. They've got to start being more responsible. They've got to start thinking about people's mental health and their general well-being over the fact that they like scaring the fucking life out of people. As you can tell, I get quite angry about this. Every day they're putting stuff on Facebook and Twitter, the BBC and ITV, that's just literally bear-baiting people. It's just getting people to fucking freak out and flip out. So they sit back and go, hey, here we are, we've created another problem. Or look at all these people jumping in. What they don't realise is some of these people are jumping in and their anxiety level is through the roof. It's affecting their mental health and their physical health. But all the BBC and ITV and Sky and everyone else are looking at is the fact that they've wound someone up and got a reaction. And that is just literally appalling. It's an appalling way to do things, that you kind of sit back, light the touch paper and watch things blow up and kind of sit back. It's irresponsible. That's what it is. It's irresponsible. I'm going to be honest with you. If I have to wear a mask because it's compulsory in places, then I'll do it. But it's not going to stop me going out. It's not going to stop me visiting people. It's not going to stop me visiting friends. It's not going to stop me visiting family. I've done all that last year. Did it make a difference? No, we're in the same situation a year on. In actual fact, we're not. We're in a better situation. If you look at the figures on a graph, deaths are slowly, steadily going less and less and less and less. The people contracting it over a period of time, the curve is going down. But you wouldn't believe that from the BBC and ITV. They just keep telling you so many people have died, so many people have caught it. They're not telling you that the figures are getting better. They are. They've been steadily declining for the last couple of months. Plus, again, we're back to this thing of saying people have died. They haven't died from COVID. They've died with it. That within 28 days of them dying, they've had a positive test. Doesn't mean that what killed them was actually COVID. If I was sitting here now and a fucking jumbo jet crashed through my bedroom window and put me in hospital and didn't kill me outright, and then just by virtue of the fact when you go into hospital they automatically do a COVID test, if they tested me and I was positive, I would go on the figures, even if I died, I would go on the figures as dying with a positive COVID test. That ain't what killed me. The fucking great big aeroplane crashing through my window is what fucking killed me, not the COVID, but I will go on that day's figures as someone who's died with it, not from it. And they're two separate things. Dying with something and dying from something are two big things. I say my stance on all this has changed a lot in the last few months. I've just seen so much hypocrisy. I've seen so much of don't do as you're told, do this, do that, do as you're told, not do as we do. You know, you find out Downing Street have had parties. You now find out today in the press that there's been traces and traces of cocaine and heroin found in the Houses of Parliament. But then they want to do a big thing in the press saying they're going to pump hundreds of millions of pounds into the police force to break up crime rings that are drug dealing. And I think you need to sort your own house out first. Literally your own house. The Houses of Parliament have been found to have traces of cocaine and heroin there. So what do we do? You know, where do we go from here? What do we believe? We're told one thing and we're told something's bad and it isn't bad. We're not given all the news as we should be given on the news. We're given their version of events as long as it suits their agenda to scare people. Surely enough's enough now. Anyway, I've been on here long enough. I'm going to disappear off and go and visit some people. Tomorrow I'm going to go to a quiz night in a pub. I'm not going to shut myself away. Everyone take care of yourselves. That's the main thing. We have got through this. Don't let these bastards grind us down. and I will talk to you again very soon, my lovelies. Peace out.